Alright everyone, if you're paying attention to the latest pro-war propaganda, which is what unfortunately now it appears to have become, regarding North Korea, you'll see, oh, the Pentagon's saying they have miniaturization and multi-stage ICBMs, they might have 60 atomic weapons, and they can put them on missiles, and they can nuke us, and stuff like that. I have doubts whether this report is actually true. I have doubts whether the Trump regime is telling the truth on this one. You see, it seems a lot like the pre-Iraq invasion news that we got. That is, you have CNN and Fox right now reporting the same thing in the same words. That should make you so fucking nervous. It should make you so nervous. When CNN and Fox appear to agree on something, you can bet that they're pushing the same tired line that's going to allow them to make money. Here's the thing. North Korea a couple weeks ago was said to have 10, 15, maybe at tops 20 primitive atomic weapons. No chance of miniaturization in the near future. After all, they just barely got done launching a couple of prototype multi-stage ICBMs. These are not general use. They're prototypes. They're one-offs. They have to get it right before they can manufacture more of them. All of a sudden they're saying, yeah, oh yeah, they got lots of these missiles and they've got atomic warheads on them. I'm not sure if that's the fact. I'm not sure that that's actually true. It looks like pro-war propaganda to me. Now, what does this mean for my beliefs regarding the Korean Peninsula? Kim Jong-un's mad. He's fucking nuts. Juche and communism are evil. They have to be wiped off the face of the earth. That doesn't mean that it's a good idea to do what the Pentagon will probably suggest, which is, oh yeah, U.S. troops should march in. We should occupy North Korea. That's probably what they're going to end up pushing for. That'd be the worst possible idea. You let the South Koreans do that. Our only goal should be within the span of 24 hours, we should flatten their air systems by cratering their airfields and attack and destroy as much of their artillery as possible so that they no longer have the military means to fight off South Korea and or Japan. That should be our limit. That and diplomatically ensuring that the Chinese don't get involved and start massacring 500,000 North Koreans near their border. That should be our only involvement. But that's probably not what will happen. What would actually happen is we get to march in, tens of thousands of U.S. soldiers die, and, you know, all those arms dealers, they make a lot of money, and all of a sudden we're occupying some mineral deposit, just like we did in Afghanistan with opium fields, and it drags on for years and years and years and gets worse and worse. You get human trafficking courtesy of the Clinton Foundation, just like in Haiti, or some similar group, allegedly. Okay, I'll put that in there for legal reasons. They allegedly were running drugs from Haiti, according to the former president of the Haitian Senate. He knows nothing. He doesn't know what's going on in his own country, but the Clintons do. Yeah, I wonder why. That's what would happen. Let me tell you this. I'm going to give you a forewarning here. In the off chance that someone launches an atomic weapon by missile from North Korea and it hits something in the United States, it will be a false flag. It won't be North Korea that has actually been responsible. Just in the off chance that that's what they're aiming for. Oh yeah, it's okay if an atomic weapon hits Berkeley or something like that, because then it'll give us a cause for war. If that happens, be very, very nervous and extremely skeptical of those early reports that you see on the news. I don't think it's likely, but in the off chance it happens, just laying the groundwork for you to see, yeah, probably the official storyline was wrong. I support intervention in North Korea to the point at which we have destroyed their atomic capabilities. That is, their airfields, because I don't believe that their missiles can be fitted with atomic weapons. I don't fucking care what the Pentagon says. I don't care what anyone else says. They don't have the ability. A few weeks ago, that was considered to be absolutely adequate. What are you telling me? The Pentagon's been wrong for several years. These prototypes aren't prototypes. They're base production. Their atomic weapons have been miniaturized for enough time for them to actually manufacture them and put them on these missiles. You're talking about several years of consistently being dead wrong from the Pentagon. So either I have to assume that the Pentagon is lying now, or they were totally misled for several years of time, didn't know what they were talking about. Why the hell are they getting our tax money if they're so ineffectual? That's what I would say about it. I can no longer in good faith support intervention in North Korea until it's clear that we know what's actually going on there. That's what I would say. The idea of liberating the peninsula is extremely alluring. It's the last truly horrendous totalitarian regime of yesteryear in existence today, other than Turkmenistan, and of course, they're a post-Soviet Russian vassal. You can't do anything about that. Hell, they even hate them. They're just like, there's nothing of any economic importance there, so nobody's going to bother liberating them. Maybe the Kazakhs will move in at some point. Who knows? As far as North Korea goes, we have a chance to knock off a bloodthirsty, despotic piece of crap named Kim Jong-un. But if we don't have adequate intel on what's going on in the country, as apparently we don't, what's the point? We're probably going to get bogged down, have to occupy, tens of thousands of our men die, hundreds of thousands of civilians die, all of Korea turns against us, a former ally turns into a fair-weathered friend at best, maybe an enemy at worst, and then we reap the repercussions, which is worldwide condemnation, just like Iraq. Let's get our intel right before we consider striking anybody. I have a doubt over whether this report is true. I have a real doubt over whether this is accurate information. I think you probably should too. And I say this as someone, I'm blatantly antagonistic against communism. I don't care if Kim Jong-un lives or dies. It would be better for the world if the latter happened. But invading or attacking North Korea based on false intel that's being spoon-fed to people as propaganda is a bad idea. It's obviously going to be bad for the United States. Every time that we listen to the government and the media, when it all seems to agree, that's when things go wrong. Right now, it looks like they all agree, yeah, they've got miniaturization, they've got multi-stage ICBMs, they're ready to nuke us off the face of the earth. Okay, then that means it's probably not true because you're all in agreement and you're all corrupt. CNN, Fox, the US government, the Democrats, the Republicans, when they're all in line together, something serious is going wrong. Just like with Iraq. Hillary Clinton came out at the time, said, oh yeah, we need to get rid of Saddam Hussein. We'll be remembered as liberators. It'll be so wonderful. Saddam will go nice and easy. Pretty soon it'll be a nice, stable Western first world democracy and they'll love us forever. Wonderful how that turned out. Hillary Clinton was for it. George W. Bush was for it. John McInsane was for it. And these people all agree, it seems, on North Korea now. Well, then I have to disagree with them. So I can't support any strikes on the peninsula, even if I'd love to see Kim Jong-un go. It'd be wonderful. It'd be wonderful if he just had a stroke tomorrow and dropped dead and got buried in a shallow grave by people who were too pissed off to give a damn whether he lived or died. That would be the wonderful thing, but I don't think it's going to happen. Despite his, morbid obesity. No, I think he'll straggle on, and I think that we're probably gearing up for war if this is what you're getting from the media. Maybe if enough people point this out, we can avoid it. Maybe we can avoid the blatant aspects of warmongering if we just point out, I think there's a problem here. Didn't the Pentagon just say a few weeks ago that none of this was true? So were they wrong, or are they lying now, essentially, is what I would ask the people there, the intel chiefs. Yeah, okay. Kim Jong-un has 60 atomic weapons primed and ready for battle, and they're on long-range intercontinental ballistic missiles. Well, that's just great. So you mean that all those years you pretended that wasn't a problem, you were lying to us, letting the problem get worse, and now we're staring down doomsday? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just let all of the West Coast get completely cratered. That'd be wonderful. Okay, 100 million people die. That's all right. Or are you lying to us now and that's all bullshit and you're just doing that as a justification to get involved in the Korean Peninsula? Put weight on the Chinese. If your idea is just diplomatic and you're trying to gull the Chinese into agreeing to more sanctions, go ahead. That's actually a pretty smart plan. But if you're planning to get involved in the peninsula, you realize how much artillery they have? Their planes might be shit, their navy might be shit, but their artillery is not shit. You realize how many lives will be lost, including a bunch of US soldiers stationed near the DMZ? 20, 30,000 of them will probably die in the first 24 hours. Are you willing to deal with that fact? A real war as opposed to the political wars we've been fighting lately, where we end up withdrawing and training some other army to be our off-hook mercenaries? Are you willing to deal with that fact, Mr. Trump? or any of these people in Congress? I hope you are, if that's what you're planning, because I'll be against it if it starts going sour. If it becomes clear that the intent is occupation, as opposed to simply aiding the South Koreans in reunifying the peninsula, because of the Ma atomic weapons card, or the Ma artillery card, or the Ma anything else card, yeah, I'm not going to support that. Because that's it's not going to work, number one. And number two, so many people are going to die. We're just going to be seen as the Great Satan. Some of these countries like Iran that call us the Great Satan, at times they almost seem right. The U.S. government's got to understand, people here become more susceptible to like Iranian or Saudi propaganda about America being horrible when America does things that seem horrible to most people, that lend themselves easily to propaganda spreading. That's the other component, is your social stability in wartime decreases, or can decrease. It depends on the situation. But this looks like false intel to me. It doesn't look even real. And if it's not real, then it's not a good enough justification to go to war with the North Koreans, even if they are commies. Even if Kim Jong-un is a commie. No, not enough justification. Let him be commies until they've done something compelling that shows me why we should march in. I'm all for a regime change there. I'm all for liberating the northern half of the peninsula, but not if it means what I think it's going to mean based on the news stories that I'm seeing. That's about all. Peace out.